Assalamu alaikum and hello and welcome to Baby Step Med, where I try and make difficult medical concepts a bit easier. In this video, I'm going to be talking about blood types. This is something that I really struggle with. It's actually something that's really simple, but you need to have like a good concept of it, and once you understand that, then it just becomes easier. So basically, we have four blood types: A, B, AB, and O. And what you need to know is that what an antigen is. An antigen is basically an antibody generator. So it's basically a marker, and once this marker is introduced and an antibody responds to it, so it's just gonna like cause a reaction. Okay, so that's what you need to know. Now in this picture, this is your RBC, and these triangles and these squares are your antigens. So A has these antigens. This is just like not obviously, this is not like accurate. This is for like a functional diagram just to make things easier for you. So A has these triangular antigens, B has these square antigens, AB has both of these triangles and squares, and O has no antigens. Okay? Then we have another antigen, which we call the Rhesus factor, also known as D antigen, and it's like this. So you can see, has circles. Okay, so how do we test this? It's really simple, and what we do is we take a blood sample, right? And then we add in anti-A sera, we add in anti-B sera, then we add in an anti-D sera, okay? And that's how we determine what the blood type is. So how does that work? So basically an anti-A sera is an anti-A antibody, right? And what does it look for? It looks for the A antigen, okay? So once it finds this, what's going to happen is the blood is going to coagulate, and you're going to have a coagulation test that is positive, okay? So if that makes sense to you, just imagine. So we're going to take an anti-A sera and we're going to add it to our A blood type right here. So what's going to happen? It's going to bind to it. Obviously, it's going to bind to it because it's like the right shape. And it's going to cause a coagulation test. It's going to cause coagulation, and so we can say, but it's not going to bind to the B, see, because it's square, and this is like specific. It's like specifically fitting for A, so it's not going to cause a reaction with B. So it shows a negative once we add it to B, and obviously the same goes with anti-D. So in an A blood type, when we add in the anti-A antibody, it's going to show us a positive coagulation test, okay, and it's going to be negative for anti-B. For a B blood type, once we add in the anti-A antiserum, it's going to give us no coagulation, but once we add in the anti-B antibody, it's going to be positive. In AB, of course, it's going to have both of the antigens, so we're going to have positive, and O is not going to show any reaction. Why? Because it has no antigen, so it cannot react. Keeping that in mind, what is the universal donor for blood? It's O negative. Why? Because it has no antigens, right? So if you give it to someone, the recipient's antibodies cannot bind to the O negative surface, so it's like safe. And what's the universal plasma donor? Blood type AB, because it has no antibodies, right? Think about it. It has no antibodies, so it doesn't hurt anyone. So now your universal acceptor is the AB positive, because it has all three antigens, right? It's antigen A, B, and D. So why is this a universal acceptor? Because a patient's body destroys the self-attacking antibodies, right? So AB positive has antigens for all three types, so the body destroys the antibodies. So the blood has no antibodies, so it's really, really safe. So it has no antibodies against A, B, AB, and Rh. So it's like you can give it easily. You can give it any blood and it won't react. Okay, and the plasma acceptor is O because it has no antigens, so antibodies do not affect it. I hope this was helpful. Please like and subscribe, and bye.